And today, our topic is quite in line with my newsletter that I sent out today, making peace with your past. Both of us, I think, have quite tricky pasts that could have been harder to make peace with. And it's taken me a while personally, but I just returned from Berlin where I had a lot of trauma and breakdown and issues with my mental health there. And I think I can officially say this weekend I was able to close the doors on my past and make peace with it by showing my friend where I used to live, and a new energy was invited within. I was able to talk about things with her and certain situations that I was just never really subconsciously maybe over. So yeah, why do you feel like it's maybe crucial to make peace with our past, Aneta? Because I know you've also had quite a rough past, bless you. So that we can move forward with love and acceptance.
I think one of the things that keeps us or gives us a hard time on making peace with our past because we're holding on to memories from that person, place, or thing that we're used to. Like, for example, if you used to go to this restaurant with an old best friend and that was like your favorite place to go to, if you break the friendship, if you guys are separate, then it might be hard for you to want to go to that restaurant. But something that I've been learning is that in the places that you tried, go there and make new memories. Go there and laugh in the places that you once enjoyed with someone else, but make new memories there. And that's something that's actually been really helping me make peace with my past when it comes to people, places, and things.
Yeah, I totally agree that there is so much power in making new memories in old places that we felt neglected or we suffered, because I think there's a tendency for us to leave it and never want to return, because that's how I personally felt when leaving Berlin. But now I really noticed over the weekend there was a reason why I went there and I actually loved it. And I'd forgotten that because I guess I just blurred all of that out. You know what I mean? I think if you do experience trauma, that is just the main focus, and it can distort your positive vision that you'd maybe had before. And so there is a lot of power in making new memories in these places, because for some reason, I think in our heads, it's able to rewire the power of, a positive um, opinion, I guess, also. And we don't have to live in the past, you know? I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Absolutely. Something that I like to remind myself is that my past does not define me and it helps shape me to who I am today, but my past doesn't define me. My future, there's a whole future out there waiting for you, and that's waiting for you to build it. So it's like whatever happens in your past, I think one of the most important things is to having peace with that. For example, I grew up in Chicago and I moved abroad almost a year ago. And I literally, if you ask me, I love that city. You know, Chicago has its own little flag. And every time I went out with my friends or went somewhere, I'd be taking that Chicago flag with me. Like, that's how much I loved
Cute.
it. But then that's also where I had one of my hardest heartbreaks with an ex, and an old job, and an ex best friend. So when I left, I just kind of numbed myself from thinking about the memories in Chicago. And when I went back to visit a few months ago, it was like I was still not fully heal from it, but I was starting to go back and do things that I would do, like go for a walk on the lake, go to this restaurant, and I was starting to enjoy those things again, but in a different mindset, in a different place in my life. And I think that was such a beautiful thing because a lot of times we want to avoid or go by numbing ourselves with something. And no, I think we need to embrace where we're at and who we are and embrace that the past happened for a reason and it was there to shape me and to build into who I am, but it's not going to define where I'm going.
Yeah, that's such a lovely story. Thank you for sharing that. I didn't know that. Um, but yeah, Lisa also said you have to learn from the past to go on. And it seems like you have learned from it by shifting your energy onto new and better, brighter days in Mexico. But you also visit and you're able to put yourself there and find gratitude and glimmers. I notice the power of that as well, that, yeah, you're going to lose people on the way. Um, but when you go back to that certain place, it holds those memories, of course, and it doesn't always have to be negative. Like I grew up in my hometown with my best friend, so I have like 21 years of memories there. And it's hard for me sometimes when I go back, I'm like, oh, we'd go to McDonald's and, like those little, like, kind of things, right?
Yeah,
But I learned to kind of just look at it and be like, oh, this is where we made good memories. Like I appreciate it much more because I don't live there anymore. So when I go back, I'm like, oh, I had really good memories there. And like, I don't know, a funny random story will come into my head that I might have forgotten. Do you know what I mean? And then it's just like, yeah, it allows me to find peace with my past in that way because even though he was taken away from me so quickly, we had the best growing up, like high school and all of that. Like he, like you were saying, like he also shaped me into who I am today. And everything that you have lived through, lived with, or lived by has shaped you. So I like that you said that because it doesn't define you, but it's a part of you. And I think if you hold that like with regrets or remorse, then that's a piece of you that you're not accepting. And I noticed as well that that's quite hard to live with or sit with. Like I used to have nightmares a lot after leaving Berlin. And I think a lot of the time was because I just hadn't accepted that those versions of myself that really struggled there and neglected myself in many ways. And yeah, and then, through therapy and just like noticing that I am now here and I wouldn't be here if that hadn't happened. Like you, like we have to sometimes go through those hardships to then find the light and share it and heal through it. And like now I'm finally in a place where I'm like, okay, it was meant to happen in a way to teach me so that I can guide others or however we want to see it, And only at that point are you able to find peace within and not grapple with like emotions that may still taunt you. Yeah.
absolutely. And like one of like the biggest things that have helped me because nobody's perfect, and that's the thing is we're
Yeah.
all in this journey together. Everybody's in different parts of the journey, but we're all healing from something. And I remember the first time that I went to go visit my hometown, I cried like a baby. And I'm not exaggerating here. I cried like a baby when I bought the ticket, when I booked the ticket to go visit home. I cried when I was at the airport, literally boarding the flight. I was bawling my eyes out until I got there.
Mm.
And then when I landed, I cried even more because I wasn't ready to embrace those emotions and embrace the hurt and the heartbreak that happened there.
What you'd left behind.
Exactly. and it was kind of hard for me to go back and visit. But then when I came back, I really just started to process my emotions and to accept the hurt that happened there and
Yeah.
to releasing it. You know, something that I've been learning is you just have to learn to release it. And it can be something simple as just saying, like, I release the hurt, I release the shame, I
Yeah.
release guilt, and I welcome abundance, I welcome joy, I welcome peace and happiness. And you really feel that energy shift. And I think that also that's something that has helped me move forward on my healing journey as well.
Yeah. That is such a crucial point that you raise about
Yeah.
processing your emotions.
Yeah.
I think also when you were saying how when you returned, like all of it came up,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the time we don't even realize that it's like there until you then physically put yourself in that situation, right? Because you've been enjoying your life, like your new life that you've established in Mexico, and then you go back and it's like your body's like telling you, hey, I've still not processed that. And so that's why you had to obviously let it out and whatnot. And I think that's such a crucial point because on the way, like this weekend on the train, my tummy was turning. It was like a weird combination of like, I wouldn't say anxiety, but nervousness. Um, I had a lot of, have you ever had it like where you just like loads of past memories just like kind of come up in your head, like flash before you?
Absolutely.
And like that was kind of happening. And I was like just bringing myself back to the present again. Like, yeah, it's a place that holds a lot of heartbreak, a breakup of mine, my parents break up there, my mum coming to live with me, my mental breakdown, my psychosis. Like it really, like that city holds so much energy for me. And Corona, not to mention, like just a pile basically
Mm-hmm.
of energy that I forgot that there was another pile of energy that when I went there, I was very like in exploration mode, creative. I really was writing like a lot. I started teaching yoga there. It's the first city I started teaching yoga in. Like there was so much more to the pile of negative energy. And I think I just reminded myself that in that moment, like it's okay that all this is bubbling up within me because I've been working through it for the past 3.5 years and it was a big time of my life, but I don't have to dwell on that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that was like the biggest shift for me. Like, I was going to show a friend around that had never been to Germany. And I was like, it's a perfect opportunity for me to just be like, yeah, there was a reason why I also moved here. And it wasn't just a pile of shit that really like broke me into pieces. So it's funny that when we shift our energy, we can't let ourselves spiral down, but rather, like you said, like shift the pattern of the way you speak. Like, yeah, I welcome a new energy. I welcome an acceptance. And just really allow yourself then to not dwell on the past, but find delight in it as well. So, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? How many emotions we can have with our past, to be honest.
Absolutely. And you know, it's so normal because at the end of the day, like, I say this all the time and I'm not going to stop saying it. Nobody gave us a blueprint on how to do life. And you know, you could be raised in a great household, but you're still so young at such a young age as the people who are raising you. They don't know everything about you. They don't know everything you like. They don't know everything you need. And I think that also helps me give grace for the people that I grew up around because everybody is figuring out for themselves, and the only person that's going to know you the best is yourself. So it's really learning to grow and cultivate a good relationship with yourself. Understand what you like, understand what you don't like, and understand your boundaries. You know, I will never stop talking about boundaries because it's so important. the first time I heard about them was 23 years old, and that was literally after I decided I was going to file for divorce. You know what I mean? So, like,
Crazy.
I had no sense of boundaries, no sense of personal space or any of that.
Yeah.
So, like, we also have to give ourselves so much grace because we're all human. There's no one blueprint fits all. There's no one path that fits all. Everybody is so different and so intricate in their own ways, and it's so beautiful. But give yourself grace for your past. You know, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't beat yourself up about allowing this person to take advantage of you, because if that person took advantage of you, you didn't know better at the time, and if you did, it's okay because it's a good learning lesson. So give yourself the grace that whatever happened in the past, it happened, but know that you are able to change the path moving forward.
You go, girl. Love it. No, you made me just think as well. You're saying like we're all so different. We all have so many like unique paths, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think we like remember that we also, as one person, have so many phases and paths in our lives,
Yeah.
right? Like our past, we make peace with our past by also acknowledging that we were a different person, like even just yesterday. And like you say, it's like showing all your versions of yourself grace and acceptance because you didn't know better. Because at that point, you didn't know what boundaries were, for example. At that point, your mental health was just not stable, and that's just how it was. But now you know better. I think it's like shifting between all those phases and knowing, like you just said, there was a lesson out of it all, and being able to pick out all the lessons in between allows you to just like constantly learn and grow. And that's why Aneta and I also, we just love to learn and we love to grow. And we see it online that there's just so much space for that we are holding an online summit because we really notice the power of these days being able to tap into your intuition, be that your mind, your body, your soul. There are so many shifts and levels to your self development. It's not just one lesson, but there's always so many lessons to learn that we're making a summit named after Aneta's podcast, Nourish from the Inside Out, because we have finally realized that it all comes from within, and we're setting up a great selection of speakers from all facets, kind of, so that we can get a real holistic approach. So you and we all can learn to care for ourselves and rewire our brains from what society tells us is normal. Because I think that's really the hardest part. We live in a society and a culture, no matter where you are, so fast developing, so much digital, media and news around us. We don't know there's so much noise to listen to. What do we have to fix?
Said you have an echo.
Oh no. But thank you for telling us, Ellen. I hope it's not happened the whole time. Yes, great. I thought that with my headphones it would be okay.
It's okay, we're learning.
There you go.
Don't beat yourself up about it. It's in the past.
But can you tell? Like, can you hear? Maybe if I take off, it'll work better. Quite timely though, like you just said. Because it's all a learning curve. Oh, I'm still echoing.
Yeah, I can still hear you okay.
Yeah, but I hear my echo now.
Better for the audience.
So I'll just hand it over to Aneta to introduce our summit now.
No,
We're
it's
always
okay.
learning and we want to learn together.
Yeah, so Grace and I, we're going to be hosting our first Nourish
Hi.
Inside Out live summit, live virtual summit, April 25th, 26th, and 27th. We want you there because we want you to know that you're not alone. You know, so many times we get caught up in the I'm alone. I'm the only one going through this. I'm the only one having mental health challenges. I'm the only one struggling with day-to-day life. But the reality is you're not. You know, for the longest time, I was telling myself that when I was facing challenges with my ex-husband, or I was facing challenges with an ex-best friend, or facing challenges with an ex-job, I would always tell myself, I don't know who to talk to, or I feel like I can't talk to anybody because nobody's going to understand. And that's what the summit is for. The summit is for you. And it's to help you grow and to build a community and meet other people and to learn from one another, because we are not alone and we're all in this together. So that's really the main goal of this summit. And the pre-sales for the summit starts today. So if you want to grab your seats for pre-sale pricing, let us know, and you can reach out to us on Substack or on Instagram. Let us know, and we would love to get you some more information about it, because that's what the whole point of it is, building a community. You know, in some of my darkest times, I was looking for a community so bad. Like, I just wanted somebody to understand and to tell me that I'm not the only one going through the crazy shit that I was going through. And I couldn't find a community that was right for me at the time. So that's also why Grace and I came in together and we partnered up and we decided to build this together. So we want to see you there, and we want to build community with you and to grow with you. So we hope to see you there for April 25th, 26th, and 27th. And it'll be 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And there will be a replay available as well for if you're not able to make it for that whole weekend.
Yay! It's so exciting. Yeah, it's kind of evolved out of, Aneta and I staying consistent and curious. Because I think when you stay consistent, you are able to nurture your creativity and engage. And being curious is probably, if not the best thing to be in life. So I'm just going to shut up now because I'm just echoing the whole time and it's annoying.
No, it's okay. I'll finish it out. So we just wanted to say from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for everybody who joins our lives every Monday.
Yeah.
It's been such a blessing to be able to do this with you guys, and we're going to continue doing this every Monday at 9:30 a.m. Central Standard, or wait, the clock's just changed. Central Standard Time, right? Did the clock change for you?
Not yet.
Okay, never mind. It did in some of the states. Anyways,
True.
9:30 Central Standard Time and 4:30 p.m. CET Germany time. And we do have the replays available, but thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because we just want to bring more awareness and more to the community that we're building. And we love you guys. So thank you so much.
Cheers to growing together.
Yes. Have a wonderful Monday, everybody, and let us know if you want access or more information about the pre-sale summit, and we'd love to get in touch.
Sweet. Have a mindful week ahead.
Yes.
Lots of love.
Guys, bye.
Bye.